I'm Roy Terracina, the interim CEO of the Sonar Company. My background is that I educated in the finance world and spent most of my business career either owning companies or investing in various companies. And I've lived here in San Antonio, Texas now for about 37 years. My background with the Sonar Company goes back to just my meeting Nick Hayward, one of the two founders, at a presentation he made to an angel network. I went up to him afterwards and actually talked to him a bit about his presentation and how he could make it better. He decided that I'd be a good mentor for him, and from that point forward, we became mentor-mentee, almost father-son in many ways. So Nick and I became very, very close. Last summer, Nick had a tragic accident, and I was on the board of directors at the time, and the board immediately asked me to become the interim CEO, which I did with great honor in Nick's memory. So I've been the interim CEO now since July. Well, I was raised in a very giving environment in Chicago, in the inner city. My parents were just very honorable, very giving people to anybody that would come and need any help. They were there to help them. My father, in fact, sponsored many of my cousins who immigrated to America from Sicily. So right from a very young age, I knew about giving. As I became an adult and got educated, got my master's degree, I began teaching at Marquette University. I taught finance there. And to me, teachers are givers just by the very nature of being teachers. So immediately I'm in a role of being the teacher with lots of mentees or students at my disposal. Every semester I had 70 or 80 new students, and that went on for about 10 years, so that I made many, many friends over that period of time and many contacts. Then when I moved to San Antonio, I bought a company, and part of being the owner of any business is that you've got to give back to the community. And one day I was asked by a Catholic priest if I'd help him in his charitable endeavors, and his charitable endeavors really revolved around helping stem the tide of gang members here in San Antonio, the drive-by shootings and things like that were going on in the early 90s here in San Antonio. Having been a gang member myself as a kid, I kind of figured out, I knew what these kids might be thinking, and got involved in a very big way with his charity, became the chairman of his board, and for about 5 or 6 years worked closely with Father Alex and something called Life Directions, working with San Antonio's youth and mentoring many of them. The next step was that I went on the board of Our Lady of the Lake University, again, helping young people who weren't able to get educated get an education. Before long, I found myself as chairman of the board of the university and spent the next 9 years chairing that board and moving the university in a new direction, a lot of which revolved around online education, which thank God we were there, because today online is a very big part of any school's education. I think in general, I try to find my passion revolves around youth. Anything that you can do to help any young person get ahead, whether they're students or even out in the business world, I think I have a great affinity for. I love helping people, especially young men, and especially young businessmen. So that kind of comes very naturally to me. And I would say in my typical day, I touch 2 or 3 lives every day. I think that's kind of my goal every morning. I wake up and ask God to put young people in front of me that I can help, and lo and behold, there they are every day. So it makes life a lot more rewarding. It gives you a purpose. Definitely gives me a purpose. Yeah, I would say yes. Once I moved my company here, or bought a company here in San Antonio, I felt it my responsibility to give back in any way I can to the community, to the employees, to their families. So it was just kind of an automatic thing in my life that, give back any way you can. At that time, obviously, there was the one with street gangs. Another charity I got involved with about the same time was Texas Special Olympics, where I met a young Special Olympian who had won the gold medal in Texas in Special Olympic tennis. I became very close to him. He's a young African-American kid from the east side of San Antonio, and even to this day, in fact, later this afternoon, he'll be here. So here we are 30 years later, still like father and son. So yeah, charity is very important to me, and again, helping people any way I can. Well, I think some people might think helping organizations only revolves around money. And to me, money is just a part of it. Sure, you need money to operate a charity, but the reality is it takes people that care, people that are involved. That's really the key. Many people join charity boards for all the wrong reasons. They want to have their name tied in with the board, when the reality is it takes work. You just don't put your name there and show up to board meetings. You've got to get involved with the cause of the charity. So I was asked once to get involved in an elderly care facility, and to be honest, I said no. I said, that's just not something I'm passionate about. It takes a combination of youth and a cause, and people that don't have all the advantages that I had as a young man. The ability to get an education to me was critical to my success. And then being able to make good decisions and stay out of trouble. So whether it be through sports, through street gangs, through lots of causes, I've met lots of young men here in San Antonio. And it's always that I seem to take a role as the father. Many of them just need advice. They just need somebody to talk to. And I kind of make myself available to be there whenever I can. I think anytime you're in business in San Antonio or in any community, you owe it to the community to give back any way you can. And one of the first things we did is reach out to United Way here in San Antonio. Well, that's a great cause. Reaches the entire community. But now I think our goal is to reach many, many more charities, whether they be in San Antonio or an extension of United Way throughout the United States. Over the years, I've been involved in, as I said, Special Olympics, juvenile diabetes. Many of those charities that just, it takes energy, it takes people to be successful. Yes, it takes money, and that's what you got to raise to be able to do your charity. But again, it takes the right people and the right motivation really to get you to the goal. The app for United Way and many of the apps we're working on for various charities is just another way to be able to reach the community and make it fun at the same time. So most of the apps have games built into the app which will occupy your time, and at the same time it will get you to realize that the charity's here. Here's the way to give to it. Here's the way to get involved in it. It may be financially, it may be just human volunteering, but anytime an app or any device you can help connect people. That's to me the key to it all, is just connecting people to the various charities in the United States, and who knows where this could take us. So the Sonar Company is still in its early stages of development, but charity will always be a big part of what we do, I believe.